And we're back.
And we're back.
And we're back. Yeshiva School of Shaul. Daf Nun Aleph Amud Beis Maseches Avodah Zarah. Now, since the last time we shteig in Yeshiva School of Shaul, I lost my Gemara. My car was stolen. My Gemara, my ukulele, my Zaydi's Talis, a few Sfarim. Rivka lost some stuff, and it was very hard. But we thought we remembered. Romanovich told us that it says Mizmor La'asaf. Shalom Aleichem. Look what we got in the flesh. And we're back. And one other yid, Gavaldik. I actually possibly have another Gemara for you. We ended up buying two Gemaras. So I was telling the yeshiva that we lost my Gemara, my car was stolen, and so we lost that stuff. And we have another set of the Avodah Zarah, but we do not know where that is. But it could be on the thing. What?
We have it already here now, so they were reinforcements.
Okay. I have one now for you, but
I'm just here to be young for your life.
Okay. So that was the first thing that happened, but Romanovich said like this, right? It says Mizmor La'asaf Elohim Bo Goyim B'Nachal Asech. The Goyim came into the Nachala. Timu Esechalecha. They defiled the Beis Hamikdash. The Samu Yerushalayim Le'iyim, and they absolutely obliterated Jerusalem, right? And so the Gemara asks, wait a second, the Medrash asks, why does it say Mizmor La'asaf? It's talking about the destruction of the Beis Hamikdash. It should say Kina La'asaf, a lamentation for Asaf. Medrash answers like this. And of course, Rav Manovich quoted it from a Tosfos, like all yeshivish people do. It was like, tasteless. Tasteless. And he says that the answer is that because the Ribono Shel Olam took out his anger, his chema, kila chimaso, on Eitzim and Avanim. So yeah, it's just physical items, and yeah, it was tough to lose everything. But today we went to Me'esharim, and we got new Gemaras, and a Yid made do with the cards been dealt. And that seemed like the end of the world until Shabbos Kodesh happened. And then it was no longer just Eitzim and Avanim. When Shabbos happened, right, and Am Yisrael lost the most people in a single day since the Holocaust. And not only that, but it was two 9/11s compared to like the population of Israel is two times what happened to 9/11. And the minhag in Yeshiva School of Shaul is that we always start off shir by talking about what's actually going on. And in Tzuk Eitan, in the last war that Israel had, when they had people watching like the border, if a fly flew by, we had men on the ground. A fly, men on the ground. A pigeon, 10 men. And so it is infeasible, ladies and gentlemen. As hard as it is to say, but it is infeasible that Israel was not involved in this attack, that Bibi did not know, just like Bush knew about 9/11, Bibi knew about the Simchas Torah massacre. And I was saying just the Friday night before and getting yelled at by my family, I was saying the Arabs are not our enemy. Our enemy is the Israeli government and Hamas and all of the UN governments. They are the people who we have to watch out for. And then the next day, Am Yisrael was attacked, and this was by our own people. This was by the hands of Am Yisrael, also the hands of Hamas. But the Arabs are not our enemy. It is the government of both people, of both. It's the satanic pedophilic UN, and we just have to know not to fall victim to the divide and conquer. And we know who the enemy is. We know who we're fighting, and the Eibishter should give us siyat dishmaya that the all of the Erev Rav should be swallowed up like kairach.
Man.
That being said, when I lost my physical items, and I lost my Gemara, and I lost my Aruch HaShulchan, and I lost my Torah Tamima, I was ready. Ask Harry. Harry asked me, like, what's the shot? I was ready to throw it all. I was ready to throw it all the way. I was like, I can't. I was like, what? I'm going to continue to teach Torah after suffering such a loss? What? Oh, Gewaldic. And I was like, how could I go on teaching Torah? And then Am Yisrael was hit by the greatest tragedy since the Holocaust, the greatest loss since the Holocaust, and it's in our own country, or what we thought was our own country. And the Ribono Shel Olam will look at it as a kapara for all of Am Yisrael. And I mean, I heard, and you know, a guy don't talk without a raya, but so I'll just say that, like, I heard from Shmuel Eliyahu, I think it was Shmuel Eliyahu, that Mechemes Gog uMagog is supposed to start on Shavuos and Tchias HaMesim on Pesach, you know? So now, Gog uMagog, is this the sukkah that Gog uMagog started? We don't know, but Amir Tishem, we should be zocheh soon to Tchias HaMesim.
Just attacked his village in Har Shmuel outside Jerusalem. Terrorists came in, so he's on the phone with his wife. I didn't understand.
Oh my God.
Eyewitness.
All right, well, when he can come in to learn the beautiful Torah, we should be zocheh to see Tchias HaMesim from here B'Yameinu. And we know that they're going strong. One of the things that gave us kayach to continue Yeshiva School of Shaul, shout out to Shlegs, right? I was telling Shlegs, how could I go on? He's like, but they're going on in Yeshiva School of Shaul Shamayla, you know? Shlegs' dad and Harry's dad are steiging in Yeshiva School of Shaul Shamayla up there, you know? And my Zaidi is davening in his talis. What, I'm just going to throw it all away? You know? Throw away Yeshiva School of Shaul Shamato, and Yeshiva School of Shaul Shamayla is kanakin. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu should see our resilience, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu should see our continued love, and He should bless Am Yisrael with the resilience and bless humanity with peace. B'meher b'yameinu.
Amen.
Zakt the Heilige Mishnah. You know, after we lost hundreds of Yidden in the Holocaust, you got to imagine that there was some rabbi in the bunker and some Talmidim, and they were like, "We got to go on." We just saw hundreds of Eden gassed and shot. We got to cleave to the Torah, and so, you know, we should be zocheh to be following their footsteps. You know, Rabbi Yochanan lost 10 sons, right? Rabbi Yochanan had a beautiful life. He had 10 sons, and one by one they died. And he took the bone of his littlest son, his 10th son, and he would use that to be Menachem, the other families that maybe lost one son or maybe lost a ukulele. And he would say, look, I lost my 10 sons, but the words of Torah restore life to me. And so we should be zocheh. Oh my gosh. I do. We should be zocheh to go outside and smoke a stone with the yid. It's crazy. We can learn Torah. Sorry for what's happening.
You'd rather wait outside, probably.
All right, here, take a sec. You can share outside, or should we continue in here? You want to?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind.
It seems like he needs a cigarette outside, and we need to be striking with the yid. So what's going on? What's going on in your situation?
They supposedly came with like I don't know, 10, 20 terrorists outside the plane.
Oh my gosh. Bathroom's right in there. Okay, quick change of location. But the Torah remains the same. The words of Torah will restore. Yeah, amen. The words of Torah will restore life to Am Yisrael and to everyone. Can't believe
Amen.
what happened. allowing that. Where are the helicopters? Where was Israel? The highest security, and they just come in. It's absurd. And now is another chance for people who have no idea what's going on to realize what's going on, to realize that our government is not out to save us. And Adarabah, they're part of the Shibud Malchias. Mishtabdim nikbitzu alai. But we beat the Misyavnim, and we will beat the Mishtabdim through the Kayach of Tyra. Zakt the Heilige Gemara. All right. Starting the Heilige Gemara.
What all these live terrorists over there?
Wow, show the
Just by his house.
I mean, by the gates of my Yeshiva.
yeah, show the thing, show us the terrorists that were found in what's your name?
Harshmul.
In Harshmul. All right.
Remote.
This year is dedicated to everyone who was affected negatively by everyone who was affected, all of Am Yisrael, and especially that it should be a schus for Siyata D'Shmaya. Crazy. Should be schus and Siyata D'Shmaya for everyone in Har Shmuel to be safe, and everyone who's coming to damage should be swallowed up in the pit of Kairach. Zok the Heilige Mishnah. So the Mishnah says, Avodas kochavim shahaya la gina o merchatz. So an idolatry, Avodah Zarah that had a gina, that had an outside. Oh, it's good that we went outside for this year, because we're talking mamish about being outside. Avodah Zarah that had a gina, had a garden or a merchatz or a bathhouse, nen in mehen, you can get hana from them, shelo bitova, as long as they're not going to expect that we return to them some sort of favor. If they expect that we return to these idolaters some sort of favor, so then maybe it's like we're giving them something by using their facilities. But if they just have facilities, like, oh look, I can enjoy the garden. The einen in mehem bitova, but you cannot enjoy their garden if you have to pay. Let's say you have to pay a fee, or if you're gonna have to give them something in return. We'll see exactly what Rashi says. Well, what if this field belonged to the idolaters and it belonged to another guy? It also belonged to so we learned, Harry, that if there's a garden or a bathhouse that belongs to an idolater, so you can get hana from it as long as you're not expected to give them something back. He called Tobas hana.
And it's tzaddik is this idolatry, just giving away things without things expected in return.
Maybe it's it's very interesting.
There's no such thing as a.
We have to see what's going on.
Street over here.
Right. So like, why are they letting?
Yeah, dip, no strings attached. What kind of tzaddik is this? Dip or idolater?
Right. So what's pshat? We have to see. What are they giving away the bathhouse for, or the garden? Yeah, we should be suspicious. Gotta be what?
An upsell somewhere.
Yeah, so we got to see.
It's free, but like in the app, like there's like.
Right. Exactly. Oh, you want to continue? Oh, you want to be able to do something useful? Well, then you have to give us $2 a month. But it says if it belongs to the idolater and to other people, so you can get hana from that garden, from that bathhouse, bein bitova, bein shelo bitova, whether or not it is bitovas hana, whether you have to give them something back. Now we have to see exactly what is tovas hana. Avodas kolchavim shel oved kolchavim asura miyad. So an idol of an idolater is immediately asur.
No questions.
No questions asked. V'shel Yisrael ein isura ad shetiaved. But if it's from Am Yisrael, is Avodah Zarah is not asur. It's not asur meaning like, let's say you have Marcolis, right? A pile of rocks. So an idolatrous, the idolatrous, the pile of rocks becomes a pile of rocks by throwing it. It becomes, let's say he makes an idol but never worships it. So it's usher because it was made by an idolater. If an Israelite makes an idol, it doesn't become usher until he worships it. So let's see Rashi now.
I don't know worship it entails, but we'll get to them.
So we know a little bit. Worshipping the idol is doing any avodah that you could do for HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So that means any shchita for it, any spritzing yayin, any spritzing shemen, any spritzing water.
How we serve Hashem is how you serve your idol.
But also there's the specific way to serve that specific idol. So if you go to the bathroom on an idol, let's say on a Marcolis, it's nothing. You just put on Marcolis, right? But if you put on Baal Peor, so then since that's the way that you worship it, right? And if you have a Baal Peor that you worship by pooing on it, if you throw a rock at it, it's nothing, right? But if you poo on it, so then it's considered that it's worship.
With the shit piss.
No pun intended. Shit piss. Shit piss. All right. Steiging da. All right. Zok the Heilige Mishnah. Zok the Heilige Rashi. You all right, my brother?
I was this army of special forces soldiers of future times.
Are your neighbor?
Yeah. But this is I'm going to
Oh my goodness. But the words of Torah should be a schus for all of Am Yisrael and especially Harshmua. Dagdale Garashi, Nene Mimena Shalo Betova. So what does that mean, Shalo Betova? Shalo Yalu Schar Lekomrin. So it shouldn't be that you're paying for the priests, right? So if it's like a public bathhouse, so you could use it. If it's a bathhouse that you have to buy a subscription to and you can't. Oh, hello, Rivka. Thank you for joining us. Do you have a pen there, any chance? Oh, not that. Give the other Gemara. You know where it is?
Isn't this it?
Oh, the hidden Gemara for the H dog.
Plus a pen.
Plus a pen. What nation is Chayil? Shkayach Gadol Rivka.
And it's on the Bobby in English.
For you. For girls. Girls can use our school.
Never seen such
like girls in our school. Listen, girls, it's a stepping stone. Chaz v'shalom could become a crutch for a yid, but for a yidda, who's never zeicha to get taught this because, in yeshiva, they don't really teach girls Gemara. And so,
If you desire it, you can teach yourself.
Amen. And the way to learn is with the Gemara and the Jastro. Oh, we got yids. Rivka, can you get the door, please?
Yids, no by yids.
What?
Yids.
Yids?
Yids?
Yids, it's coming?
No. You say yids.
Oh, you got yids. Oh, Shalom Aleichem. Now this is the OG Yeshiva School show.
All the lamps.
All the lamps.
Lamps being lit.
Find a nice seat for a year.
You
got a lot of breath.
taking homeostasis. Torah.
Tyra.
Well, the world is in a state of fear.
Tyra. The words of Tyra restore life. So Sky. Oh, we got some other. Oh, Paris Bear, Pierre Bear. We got some Yids learning. Should be a schos, especially for Harshmua, which is currently under attack.
Where is that?
We got a Yid. His wife is like in hiding right now in a pool or like it's crazy
Some
stuff.
happened. Where is Harshmua?
Oh, it's a mountain.
Right into Jerusalem. Infiltrations.
seed from Harshwell? No, that was Harshwell and not even.
Oh, right. Good call. All right. So the reason that you can use a public, so the idolatry, by the way, what is a public? What does it mean that there's a public bathhouse of idolatry? Public bathhouse in America, maybe. Public bathhouse in Israel if it's set up by the government. A public bathhouse anywhere in the UN. If it's a public bathhouse, you can use it. If it's schar, you have to see like, well, who's benefiting from this bathhouse, so that we shouldn't give money to the priests. But why can you use it if they say this is Aphrodite's bathhouse, let's say, but it's public, you can use it. But if you have to pay to use it, you can't use it because you don't want to give Aphrodite's, right? And Kavachomer if it's of the other Satan worshippers, right? But the reason you can do it is the ein hektish lavodas kochavim. The Amrina Meperek Kol Atzlamim. They say that actually in last chapter. We're talking about, that's where I pulled Aphrodite from, because we spoke about Aphrodite in specific. There's no hektish for avodas kochavim. If the Ovdei Kochavim say this is like idolatry, they can't be makdish it. There's no hektish until, right? But if they but we learned in the beginning of the Mishnah that if they say that if an idolater makes an idol, it's asur miyad. If nun aleph amid beis.
Would that be considered like making it hollow? The opposite of makdish?
It's just, so it's interesting. Why does Rashi say that there's no hektish? How does that help us? Rashi says, because there's no hektish for idolatry. Okay. So I guess he's saying that since there's no hektish, it didn't like become hektish. And so if it's not that you're giving money to them, we don't want you to pay them. We don't want you giving money to the idolaters, right? By the way, giving money to the idolaters.
Three of them were armed guns. Terrorists.
Oh my gosh. But hopefully they'll be okay.
One escaped supposedly. I'm looking for him.
They found two?
They found like eight.
Eight.
3 armed and like 1 escaped.
Is everyone okay?
So far.
Continue steiging.
We're in the family here now.
Keeping the vibrations of the shteigings going.
So what else can we do?
It's like
His mom is historic.
Think
Yeshiva School of Shaul. Please take it.
I go try
Pink
to
Floyd. Isn't it Pink Floyd again? Ravid, thank you for coming. You should be blessed. Wait, hold on. Let me break us guided. Be good, my brother. Stay strong. Keep us posted. We're learning for Hashmuel, especially tonight. Okay, that's the Mishnah. I'm thinking we don't want to give schar to avodas kochavim. Is it usher to pay taxes to Israel or to America or to any of these countries? It's a question, It's a question. Where's this money going to? Is it going to Iran to buy parachutes and bulldozers for Hamas? It's just a question. Zok the Hilga Gemara. What?
keep saying.
Oh yeah. Zok the Gemara. Amar Abaye, says Abaye. Bitova is komrim. When it says that you can't use the idolatry, the bathhouse or the garden of idolatry, bitova, it means bitova's komrim. If the priests benefit from it, that's what it means. Bitova. This is what Abaye says. Shalo bitova's komrim. If it's not bitova, means that they don't benefit from it. Yid goes into a bathhouse of their idolatry, but he goes in for free. Maybe he doesn't flush. As long as they don't benefit. As long as they don't benefit. Lefuke tovas ovdea. This is coming to exclude the tovas ovdea. We're not talking about the benefit of the ones who worship the idol. Just to see what that means. What Rashi's talking about. Deshari, that's permissible. It's permissible for the benefit of their workers. Yet we don't want their leaders to benefit. But the people who are worshiping it, because listen, now especially is very important to know the difference between the leaders and the worshipers, the leaders of the Avodah Zarah and the worshipers of the Avodah Zarah, because we know that the leaders of the Vatican, the leaders of the Roman Catholics, they know that they're pagans. They're doing right. They are following the pagan agenda. That's what they're doing. But your average Joe Schmo Roman Catholic, he might think that he's worshiping God. He might be tricked. He thinks that this is what he was taught growing up. Yes, Legs.
What you're suggesting that these leaders of the idol worshippers, they, like for example, we see cases where Spirit of Hashem came over Shimshon and Gibor, right? And then we see other tzaddikim who like Spirit of Hashem came over them. Is this like a spirit of like Tuma that's overcoming them from like a Sitra Achra type side, that they're like possessed by the spirit of Atoma because they decided to go in?
You ask a good question. Right now, all we know is that the Gemara is coming to make a chilek, coming to make a difference between the leaders of the idolaters and Joe Schmo idol worshiper. They grew up, his parents that worshipped idols, grandparents worshipped idols. That was no worshiping idols. Like he's not like a rabbi of idol worshiping. He's not the Pope. He's not, but he's just some guy. And so all you see here is that the Gemara Abaye is proposing that maybe there's a difference, right? The Shari, that it says that's permissible for them to get benefit from it, right? Like, don't think that like let's say you're taking a shower in the bathhouse, and some like guy next to you is like, "Yo, can I borrow some shampoo?" You don't have to be like, "No." Be like, "Yeah, man, yeah, here's some shampoo." "Oh, you worship idol? Look, here's some shampoo." But if the other guy is next to you is like one of the leaders, then maybe you just accidentally trip him on his way out. But we got to see. There are those that teach this idea on the Seifa of the Mishnah. Now remember, a Mishnah is split up sometimes, a Reisha and a Seifa. The beginning of the Mishnah, just to do Chazara, is that you can get benefit as long as you're not benefiting their leaders, the Komrim. Rashi says specifically the Komrim, right? And then the Seifa, there's some people that teach that in the Seifa. So Haya Shallah v'Shalacherim, that if it belonged to idolatry and it belonged to some guy, some guy. Very important also to know the difference that to know the difference about you have a guy, you have an idolater, and now we're saying even within idolaters there are difference between the leaders and the followers, which is a very, very important idea. Sometimes people are not sensitive to that, and they just say "Oh, one Arab stole my car. I hate all Arabs." Or look at what these leaders are doing, and he's following this leader. So then we have to. There's a chakira. There is a difference, and we have to just see, right? So if it was Shallah, and then we have the idea of just a guy. We don't hate all Goyim. Hadrabah. We hate the leaders of the idolaters. We hate the Pope. We hate the Black Pope and the Gray Pope. We hate all of the leaders over there. Okay. That's just a modern day example of this idolatry. I wonder how many yeshivas are learning Avodah Zarah. Not many. But how many yeshivas that do learn Avodah Zarah actually talk about the fact that they're still around? Or do they teach, no, that was back in the day. Nowadays, all that's left from these people is Am Yisrael, but there's no more idolatry going on. And we know in Shiva School of Shaul that that's not the case. And we know that we are dealing, as we speak, with the ramifications of these idolaters, because we know that whatever happened in Israel was planned out by the UN as part of their agenda. And we know that the UN is a subsection of the Roman Empire, Geulas Edom, and this is pagan. This is of the Avodah Zarah. So it's incredibly relevant. So betova v'shelo betova. You can get hana if it's a shutfus, if it's them and some random guy, whether there's benefit, even if there's benefit. So Amar Abaye, betovas acherim. Abaye says that when he's saying it's betova, it's talking about betova of acherim. He doesn't call it ovdeh. Here he just calls it others, right? Shelo betova is shelo betovas komrim, that you still cannot, even if it's a shituf, even if it's teamwork, and it's the idolatrous people and some random guy, you still can't do it if the leaders of the idolatrousness are gonna benefit. Zak the Gemara a nekuda. Zak the Gemara like this: Man de masne asefa. So the one who teaches Abaye's teaching on the Seifa, so that would be Koshikain Aresha. All the more so in the first case when it's all of the idolatry that you can't do it for the benefit of the leaders of the idolatry. Because if you're teaching it on the Seifa, that's only half of it is going to the leader of the idolatry, and you can't even do it. So of course, if it's all the Tova of the leader of the idolatry, you can't do it. Umanidami Aresha, but the one who says no, we're teaching that it can't all go to the idolater. About a Seifa, but for the Seifa, since there are also others that are also getting benefit. In that case, you can also do it even if the leaders of the idolater are getting some benefit. If you're going to teach that lesson on the Seifa, on the Resha, that you can't have all of it go to the leaders, but you can have some of it go to the leaders of the idolater if you teach Abaye's teaching on the Resha that's talking about all of it. But if you're teaching it on the Seifa, then Kal v'chomer, you can't have it on the Resha. You can't even give the Komer half of it. Kal v'chomer, you can't give him the whole thing. That's the Gemara. We got down to the two dots, and we are now time for Rashi. So again, Abaye says, right? The Abaye says the tova that you can't give is the tova of the komrim, of the leaders of the idolaters. But shalom tova is not in the tova of the idolaters. Le'afuke, to exclude the tova of ovdeha, of its worshippers. And we said, wait a second, so is this just average Joe Schmo idolater? And this is how we were learning. But now we get to see the Heliga Rashi. Rashi says, ovdeha, ovdei kochavim, idolaters, ha'ovdim osa, that are worshiping this idol, lo ichpadlan im yahavinan lehu. The Mishnah and the Torah we don't care if we give it to them about shar tova zona porta. If you give them a little benefit, yeah, here's the soap you drop, right? You're not supposed to bend down, pick up the soap. I mean, it's say about prison, but I wouldn't do it in an idolatrous bathhouse either. Or you're walking in a garden, he drops his phone. Oh, here you go. Or like you buy popcorn and like you have some idolater begging for food, you give him a little popcorn. We don't care about giving it to just Joe Schmo idolater. Huge chiddush. Huge chiddush. And now the next Rashi, but there actually is there's a Haggah here. There is a Bach here, and the Bach says, "Over there, Yavina luschar tovasona." Give him a little something. Give him. The guy ran out of soap, and he says, "Guys, some soap." Here you go. Here's a little spray. As long as it's not stick soap. You say, "I'm very sorry, but I don't want." I don't want to give stick soap. Even maybe to a yid, I would say no, but. But if it's a little, if it's squirt soap for a guy, for a Charlie Chirps, here you go. I can't spare a square. Great sush tail. Can't spare. So you're allowed to spare a square in the bathhouse of an idolater, you don't have to be right. Joe Schmo, fair square, exactly. Like great two shot legs back in action. Didn't miss a stig. So the next Rashi that we have, right, is that the one who teaches that Abaye's statement of you can't do it for the Tova of the Komrim is on the Seifa, where you can't even give him half. So obviously, Koshike a fortiori on the ratio. So Rashi says Koshike given the Kula that was also let's say schar. You can't pay any money if it's all going to the idolater. You said you can't do it if it's half to the idolater and half to some random guy. Random. But here it's all to the idolater, so then of course not, right? And that is the two Rashi. So we saw the Mishnah, we saw the Rashi, we saw the Gemara, we saw the Rashi. Now back to the Heliga Gemara.
Can we do Chazara quick on the Seifa?
Quick Chazara on the Seifa. Rivka, can you please bring me the instrument? Because thank you so much. We were inside and I had access to it, but now we're outside. Tonight, by the way, like I'm not gonna show it on the camera and you guys will see it, but we have a new instrument because we lost the juke. The Heliga ukulele, it did Tikun, you know. Hotzi as Kila as Chamaso Eitzavanim. Okay, Chazara on the Seifa. So the Mishnah said two statements. One statement was that the idolater's garden or bathhouse, you can use it as long as you're not paying for it, as long as you're not giving money to the leaders of the idolatry, right? The next statement of the Mishnah was that if it belonged to the idolatry and some other random guy, so then nice. Let's see.
Morocco here. Sorry, can you take your glasses?
Oh, my legs.
Just in case. Just in case. So we have it.
And that way we have it. Okay.
Morocco.
So we said that according to and so Abaye said that you can't do it for the tova of the komrim, of the leaders of the idolatry, right, Shlegs? So if you're saying that you can't do it for the leaders of the idolatry when it all belongs to the idolatry, the Resha, so then maybe on the Seifa you could do it because it's not fully giving it to the idolatry. But because there's another goy involved. But if Abaye said you can't do it for the tova of the komrim, for the good of the komrim, and he was talking about the Seifa, meaning even when it's half to the komrim, you can't give it. So then kal v'chomer, you can't do it when it's all for the komrim in the Resha.
Okay.
G?
I'll do Chazara later.
Chazah. Okay. What do we learn Gemara? So we can do Chazah.
What daf are we on?
Nun Aleph, I'm at Aleph. I'm a base. Avodas Kochavim. Okay, so now really there were three bavos in this Mishnah. There were three bava is like three gates.
Wow.
Three statements, right? Three individual statements, right? And so we said Reish and Seifa, that was really 1 and 2. But now there's a super Seifa. And the super Seifa is what we're going to be dealing with probably for the rest of the day today, tomorrow, maybe another few days. This is the next statement. Avodas kochavim shel avodas kochavim asur miyad. So an idolatry that belongs to an idolater is immediately usher. The second he makes it an idol, boom, it's usher. Shlegs, by the way, you're gonna know when to give us the warning.
We're in a 4-minute warning.
4-minute warning right now?
I just realized this.
Good thing I asked. 45 minutes. I was thinking maybe we could do longer, but for today, if this is
capture all that magic stuff and such just so far.
Oh, 1 second.
no meeting's still going.
Discuss history.
Yeah. Okay, so tomorrow Emir Hashem, we will focus on that statement that the idolatry of an idolater is Asr Miyad. We're going to talk about who is the Mishnah. Is it Rabbi Akiva or is it someone else? It seems to be Machokas Rabbi Akiva and Rabbi Ishmael. But we have my Haliga mother coming through. We're at the last 3 minutes, Mom, and we're gonna do there's 3 minutes left to share, and so we're just gonna do a little bit of Chazara with the mandolin. Okay. All right. Sounds good. So you can be in the end of share. It's a big space for them to be in here. So we learned in the Mishnah.
Bodyguard.
So stay in here. So if there was an idolatrous bathhouse or garden, you cannot pay to use it if the money is going to the leader of the idolatry. But if it's public and anyone can use it, then we can use it as well. The reason is we don't want to give money to the leaders of idolatry. But what happens, Ima, if this is a joint effort between an idolater and some random guy? So then there's a machlokes where Abaye was referring when he said we can't give money to the leaders. If he said we can't give money to the leaders by the first case, when it all goes to them, so then the chiddush is that you can give it, you can't give it to the benefit of the idolater themselves, but you can give for benefit of some random idol worshiper, and that's an important distinction. We only hate the leaders; we don't hate the lay people. They are with us. They are also oppressed. And if Abaye was saying that you can't give it to the leader of the idolater even when he's only getting half, so then obviously if he's getting all, we cannot take it. Never wear a mask. Never get a clickety-clack. Har Shmuel should have siyata d'shmaya to go through what they're going through. And all of Yisrael, I wish you a big gezunta nachamu. This is the worst thing that happened since the Holocaust 70 years ago. So many Jews died, the Yid should never know. Teischem l'shalom, ahela ge'ima, we love you so much. In the schus of the Torah that we're learning today, you will see much nachas from your